Well, you know, we're so much farther ahead of the game, obviously. I mean, when you look at the first year when you come in, what do we have? A month, basically, you know, to recruit. So you're really scrambling. You know, last year you're still trying to figure out a little bit exactly what you have on campus. And so you're recruiting to a system and you're recruiting to needs, but not quite as sure what the needs are. Things are we're a lot more clear going into this recruiting class, exactly what we need to continue to move the offense forward. You know, the pieces, the parts that need to be in place together to make them work. And so we were able to target specific type kids. In other words, a Chris Davis, for example. We needed an inside receiver like that on video you could see doing things that we needed to. The tight end position with the Lehman and Simpson. You know, and so as coaches, as coaches, whether it's offense or defense, get more familiar with the exact position-specific needs for our offense, now we can kind of hone in on a little bit of a kid that maybe fits those needs a little bit more specifically. And so I felt all along as we went through this that our list by position were pretty right on, pretty specific. I didn't think we had that many reaches in there as far as our specific style of offense. No, I think there's enough kids out there. I think there's enough kids out there that want to play at the highest level. I think there's enough kids out there that our style of offense appeals to. In some respects, it's a little bit of an advantage because the pool that we have to choose from that we can identify as guys that fit may not be quite as vast, and there might not be quite as much competition at the end of the day. And so I do think that does set us apart a little bit from a recruiting standpoint. I'm going to see it as a positive. I'm going to see it as a positive, particularly from the standpoint of skill positions. And hopefully, proof will be in the pudding, but hopefully, you know, this recruiting class in particular will bear that out. Well, I think when I look back at this recruiting experience and this recruiting cycle, flat out, bar none, hands down, the best collection of official visitors that we've had. Not even close. I mean, we would comment to each other as coaches, you know, gosh, is this a good-looking group? Gosh, I mean, you'd like to be able to take all these guys. I mean, I thought our coaches did a nice job of identifying kids, evaluating, and getting the right type of kids on campus. So I think from that standpoint, if in fact we've drawn from what was the best pool, you know, this has got a chance to be a class that makes a difference. This has got a chance to be a class that does, you know, move the program forward in what is, as we know, is a difficult process. The other thing I think is that none of these guys are coming in uneducated about the challenges at New Mexico. None of these guys are coming in uneducated about what the possibilities are. And so, you know, everybody thinks they've signed a good class. We think we've signed a good class. I think part of it is there is excitement, there is belief, there is some proof that the program's moving forward. Our kids did a good job recruiting for us. Our student athletes did a good job recruiting for us. I think that we've recruited the right type of kid from a character standpoint to the University of New Mexico. And it does take a unique kid. And so for the first time, I think we kind of put as many things in place as we needed to and put as many things together as we needed to put together a true New Mexico Lobo class, if that makes sense. Much more, the second part of that question is much more important. I mean, absolutely much more important. And I know that media and people that get in certain websites and blog sites and all that kind of stuff get caught up in all the rankings and what have you. It's all about getting in these offices and studying video and getting backgrounds and talking to coaches and talking to counselors and talking to opponents' coaches to get their feel for a certain type kid. It's about getting the right personality fit for this program in here. That's as big a part of it as anything, to be perfectly honest with you. And so being able to couple a high enough talent level, a kid that can compete at this level, and get the right character type kid, the right personality, is huge for us. It's huge, absolutely huge for us. And so much, much, much more important than rankings is, you know, at the end of the day, how do we feel about them as a staff? How do we feel the fit is? How did our kids feel about them when they were here? You know, did we get a positive feedback from them that these kids will be able to make it in this program? At the end of the day, what you get excited about, those that want you and those that want New Mexico, and we're excited about this group.